Approval of the agenda and the minutes from the last meeting. Any questions on that? If not, can we get approval of the agenda and of the minutes, please?
I move to approve it.
Got a first by Harold,
Second.
second by Stephanie. No more questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. No public comment, no old business, new business. You are up. Mr. Pfeiffer.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm here in my capacity as general counsel for River Ridge. I replaced or stepped into David Lewis's shoes when he retired last September. Basically, all of the Jeffersonville Township property that's in River Ridge is either fully developed or on the verge of being fully developed. There's a few scattered infill sites that'll still be developed, but all of the activity is, and we're seeing it every day, moving more and more towards the Charlestown end. We have a pending sale. I think it's a fairly small parcel, about 20 acres. But in working with out-of-town lawyers that represent this company in the purchase, they identified a problem with the zoning scheme that has been jointly employed by River Ridge and the city. In a nutshell, when the city adopted its replacement zoning ordinance in 2016, it neglected to include what was called the River Ridge Industrial District. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. And so this will become a more frequent title objection, because every time my former partner, Alan Applegate, he either does the closings or he does all the work on behalf of River Ridge to make out-of-town lawyers happy to get things closed. And so I'm trying to make his life easier so that he can basically take a package of official actions by River Ridge, Planning Commission, City Council, and say, zoning is appropriate and all the approvals are here and you're done. I think Tony's been administering that anyway. It's just now that we're getting these objections, it's just a problem that we need to fix. So I'm here for two things tonight. First, the River Ridge Board on March 20th adopted what they have numbered as Resolution 15-2023, which adopted the restrictions and covenants that we have recorded that establishes the development standards within River Ridge. Basically, there's Tier 1 and Tier 2 properties. Tier 1 is the office park where our building is. All of that's in Jeffersonville Township. So as of today, all of the Charlestown portion is Tier 2, which is the larger manufacturing, distribution type buildings. And we envision it staying that way for the time being. Tom Vitito and I met with the mayor today. We've got some interest in some heavier industrial type uses. And as long as they're not a nuisance type use, I think we're interested in doing that, and I think it'll result in getting higher paying jobs than we have typically seen for most of the development over there. So there may end up being a Tier 3, there is not one today. But the first thing before you is a resolution approving, basically what I'm asking you to do is to adopt a resolution approving the resolution that River Ridge initially adopted, and that will put in place the development standards and the permitted uses for the Charlestown portion of River Ridge, and it'll operate similar to the way the Jeffersonville Township has operated, but again, it's basically just to get things closed. Secondly, I'm asking you to hold a public hearing. Basically, Jerry Acey authorized me to employ the Wheatley Group and Jacob Arbitol, who used to be the zoning director in Clarksville, and he's drafted a second document. I don't know if you've got that in front of you, but basically there's a document that approves the amendments to the text and the maps of Charlestown zoning ordinance, and it basically will end up being the final step to finalize it. So tonight, I'm asking you to adopt the first resolution I talked about,
Yep. that's resolution number 2023 APC, or -APC-10.
Okay.
That's from this board.
Okay.
Then the second one he was Greg talked about, that's the one that's actually the city council's draft ordinance.
Yeah.
That will go in front of the city council.
And
Should have the same thing.
Jacob actually drafted, I don't think you may not have got this, Tony. He went ahead and drafted a resolution certifying the favorable recommendation of that ordinance. So if we could vote hold a
Okay.
public hearing and take a second vote on that resolution, then I think we're done. So with that, I'll be quiet.
What they
Got any
did.
questions? If I confused you hopelessly, please let me know. But otherwise, at the end of the day, this will end up going to the city council on May 1, and hopefully they'll adopt that resolution, and all this is put to bed.
Yeah, so what you have is actually two resolutions for tonight. One is the one that's resolving to approve the River Ridge resolution.
Correct.
And then the second one, that one's 2023 APC-10. And then the second resolution is to approve the zoning map changes. And that'll be resolution 2023-R-11. And I've got it right here. So,
But we'll need to ask if there's any public comment before we vote on number 11.
Well, the first thing you need to vote on is the resolution approving the declaratory resolution adopted by the Board of Directors of the River Ridge Development Authority, approving their reuse plan for properties in the portion of the River Ridge Commerce Center that are located within the boundaries of the city of Charlestown, Indiana, including the imposition of development standards on such properties, which is 2023-APC-10.
And the way that will, in practicality, the way that will work is a developer will come to us and say, this is what we want to build. We'll see all the finishes, we'll know what the intended uses are. We'll make sure those comply with everything that's recorded at the courthouse, which Tony has a copy of. And then we'll certify to him, once that development plan's approved, that it meets all of those requirements, and he's then in a position where he can administratively issue a building permit.
Right. And the River Ridge, they're with the CCR or whatever, they're more restrictive than
Yeah.
anything we have. So,
But basically, we've been following this.
We've been acting like we had this in
Had
place.
it
We
in
just-
place, it's just the wordage wasn't correct
Right.
when it was recorded.
When we did it, when you adopted your new ordinance in 2016, it didn't get done in a way that made it legal.
Okay.
There were actually, the original ordinance was, for lack of a term, like an interlocal agreement that everybody had passed in 2012. So when they did 2016, they just did what was in 2016, not realizing there was an additional ordinance
Right.
for that. So it was kind of always, so that always created a problem. And I would always work with group, they were really good at working out until we had the one guy come up and say, hey, wait a minute, we got an issue here.
Right.
So,
And now we're getting more sophisticated buyers, relatively more expensive projects, lawyers from out of town that are more difficult to deal with, so it's just, this will simplify everybody's life.
plus it's cheaper for us because we use their engineers. They gotta sign off on
And
it.
they have to buy their building permits from us.
Right, those would come from us.
And Perry, did you have anything on it? Was this-
No, he sent it to me and I looked at it and it's dotted and crossed.
Okay. I want to, I need a motion to pass resolution number 2023-APC-10, please.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, got a first,
A second.
got a second, all in favor? Anybody have any questions? for us?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
So we will not see any plans or anything when it comes?
Tony will get it.
I'll get them, and then the board won't need to vote on them, but you'll see them. You'll know every time somebody wants to put in here, because actually it only affects the plant over here, even though it's
But
in
it
the city
affects the
limits.
city too, though.
But yeah, but like I said, their restrictions are gonna be more restrictive than ours.
So what he's saying is if we get somebody who wants to build, you'll okay it, we don't have to okay it. This
Right,
gets-
but I won't pay it before it comes to, the board will review it, they just don't have to vote on it. Just like,
And then it would still come to the city, or it would stop
No,
to
it
the
would stop.
council, I mean, or it would stop?
No,
because-
it's not.
It would only come back to the city if they want to do something that's not a permitted use, or if they want to do something different than what those restrictions and covenants say.
So Pretty much like a subdivision, if you wanna say you wanna build a subdivision in Charlestown, if you're following all the codes, it don't really.
The law says it's a ministerial
Yeah,
act.
it's just a ministerial act.
Okay, I understand that.
But that's, well, you know, it's good to have two people on the council on this board because if you review it.
Okay. All right, we have a first and a second. Any more questions? All in favor? Okay.
So next, I would ask you to hold a public hearing on ordinance number 11, and if there's any public comment, they can speak, and if not, then you can entertain a vote on that.
And this was advertised?
Yes.
Okay. So we will start the,
Open up the public
open up
meeting.
to public meeting.
Close the regular meeting, open the public,
We need to close our regular meeting?
and open the public hearing and close it back.
Okay. So that is the, I guess I need an adjournment for our meeting.
I move that we adjourn temporarily.
Okay. Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, now we would like to reopen for the public comment and the public meeting. No one's.
2023-R-11.
So,
No, I just not got, it's the one that's here.
223, just tell me.
2023-R-11. You're gonna sign it anyway.
Okay.
Yes.
Resolution number 2023-R-11. Any questions?
No public, no comments.
A motion to pass resolution
No,
2023
and close the public hearing,
Oh,
move to close the public hearing, and
we
reopen.
need a
it.
motion to close the public hearing?
And then reopen the,
Yes.
I move to close the public hearing.
it's crazy.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I would like to call to order the meeting of
You can do
the Charlestown Planning Commission. It is 6:41, and we are here for the sole purpose of passing resolution number 2023-R-11. Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, got a first,
Second.
got a second. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So River Ridge will pass another resolution next Monday, and then this will go to the city council, as I said, on May 1, and assuming that they adopt the ordinance that you have just recommended, then this process will be complete and I appreciate your cooperation.
And I'll make the changes in the book.
So-
And I did get calls from people out there, and they didn't know what was going on. Once I explained it to them, like, oh, okay, I thought they always did that. So,
And I'm the chairman, right?
yep,
So if you can send me the signed copy tomorrow.
All right, will do.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
have her sign that.
Thank you all.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
All right, if there's no other business, do we already adjourn? Can we have a motion to adjourn?
No, I got a question.
Okay,
I guess it's more directed towards Tony.
Mhm.
How, the building there, along Market Street there behind the firehouse, where they put that wooden fence up,
Yes.
okay? Is there any way for commercial buildings or, where we can put in or ordinance or something where that could not be a wooden, a wrought iron or something, in the future where, this could be one of the things, because even if the wind didn't blow it down, it's still gonna look like, it's gonna look terrible in a couple of years, because nobody maintains it. I guarantee you nobody's gonna maintain it.
Yeah, we could do that.
and I thought, go ahead, I'm sorry.
All what we need to do is address it, so like there is residential property behind it. And right now, our rules say residential property has to have a privacy fence or shade or trees or landscaping. We can make it like that, has to be a vinyl fence or wrought iron or,
Yeah, just something that's such a nice looking building, and then you have that behind it, and it just looks terrible.
Cumbersome.
Yeah.
And I thought we talked about that at one of our meetings, and they had told us that it would be a nice, I thought that question was asked, that it would be one of those nice
I thought I asked.
That's all got asked down here for Depot Street, or put
Yeah.
Bowland.
I thought it was asked for that also, so,
I'll go back and review if it was.
if you don't mind, if you
It
don't
was.
mind,
It was
because
approved that way, we could change it.
because that was a big question that Harold had, I remember us talking.
I remember talking about the wall, they were originally gonna put up a wall.
Right.
Right,
And they didn't want the wall, the fire department didn't really want the wall.
maybe that's what.
But I think that was because they were confused of what was where and stuff, so
Okay,
I'll look it up.
thank you. And then we'll draw up something to say that from now on, if they do that, it needs to
Yep.
be aesthetically nice.
Yep, like I said, we can, just like, you know, down here, when they come in front of us, yeah, the rule says woodware, but then we're talking to them, you know, especially if they're in an area, like down there, it was a variance,
Right,
and you can stipulate pretty good.
they're what we want. Okay.
That's all I have.
Questions? Anybody else? All right, do your thing.
Move.
Close this meeting.
Close the meeting.
Got a second? Second.
At least I didn't have to go over
All
Chase
right.